Nead.
Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. I believe in 7 impossible things before breakfast. Toastmasters, most honored guests, but especially you, Mohammed, I want to say thank you for coming today to the contest to delight us with your presentation. When I was listening to your presentation, I was listening for what is the purpose? And it struck me that you're really trying to inspire us. You're trying to give us a goal and objective to reach. You wanted us to leave after the presentation and go out there and do something that we think is impossible, which I think is a very important message. So thank you. What I'm going to touch upon now are some of the things I noticed regarding your presentation that were some positives, as well as some areas that I would recommend for possible improvement in the future. I thought the story regarding math was an intriguing introduction. It pulled us in. We're wondering, what is the purpose? What's going on here? I think many of us can relate, having been students. We're worried about being late to an exam. And then we hear this inspiring story of this young man who is able to solve 2 impossible questions. At first, I thought this was a good way to pull in the story, but at first I was not quite sure where it was going. It wasn't until you went on to your other goals and inspirations. I think you brought in the story of Antonio when he was swimming, and that's where I really started to pick up that your goal was to inspire us to do these impossible things. I thought the use of stories were very well done. It applied and pulled in different examples that, as an audience, we might have diverse backgrounds, and there's probably 1 or 2 stories that we could relate to. He pulled in the story of a swimmer. If we're not familiar with a swimmer, then we might be familiar with Christopher Reeves. Then he talks about Nancy Reagan, which is really important to make the audience able to follow along with what you're saying. Some of the suggestions I would have for you would be, in this room, it's a little bit difficult because it's a longer room to project. As a speaker, I think you have an opportunity, unlike the contestants where we have a limited space, or maybe moving out amongst the audience so you can project closer to the back of the room. Other things, I noticed your eye contact was good, though I think maybe giving more eye contact to the front row, which sometimes we forget about because we're trying to reach the middle and the back of the room. Hand movement. You did generally well with your hand movement, but I did notice you tended to have your right hand up here and in a fist, maybe varying that up a little bit more, including more gestures to enhance your presentation. Also, since this is a Toastmasters event, why not pull in an example of Toastmasters and what it can do for us as an impossible task? That would be a good opportunity. So to conclude, I would like to say thank you again, but I hope that everyone leaves today and makes dreams a reality.